cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the #1 podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you from, life is
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast for another episode of Black Friday. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host, Freddie G, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And if you're on YouTube, please don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, fellas, I'm going to jump right in on this one. This topic, I think, is a touchy one. Policing the police.
Uh-oh.
You know, I think it's something that, I don't know, I feel two ways about it, honestly. I don't feel we should have to police our police, honestly. But with the things that's going on nowadays, with all the police shootings that's gone on in the last several years, you know, it may be something that needs to be considered. It's no excuse for the shootings to occur the way they're happening, but the justice, I don't think, is being served when you know, they're the ones that's on the other side of the gun doing the killings.
Right.
I really don't know how we could police the police, but they do have to be held accountable some way, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
What do you think, Comedian 96?
You knew already. He saw my mouth open. I got the perfect solution, y'all. Y'all gonna be like, man, this been right up under our nose the whole time. So, if you go out on YouTube or TikTok or whatever it is, TikTok, whatever it is, I don't know. You know, I'm old, so. You always see incidents in Waffle Houses fighting. You see incidents in the McDonald's fighting. Other restaurants fighting. Okay, on the street fighting. However, can any of y'all see an incident in Chick-fil-A? Have you ever seen it? You don't. You don't see it. And it's the way that they hire.
Right.
I think the police force should hire the way that Chick-fil-A is hiring. You don't see no drama in Chick-fil-A. Whatever Chick-fil-A, whatever they're doing, shout out to Chick-fil-A. Whatever they're doing, you don't see customers arguing in Chick-fil-A. You don't see no fighting on YouTube at Chick-fil-A. None of that. They're not open on Sundays either, unlike other restaurants.
Yeah.
So whatever process, I ain't never went to Chick-fil-A and had an argument with a Chick-fil-A employee. Have y'all?
No,
it's like going in heaven almost.
So do you
I want a piece of heaven, I go to Chick-fil-A.
So do you think that all of the Chick-fil-A workers
should cops.
just be police?
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes. And the world will be a better place. That's the solution. Okay. Case closed. Okay. New show.
So, hey, I really do have a real solution to policing the police.
I'm glad you said a real one.
A real solution.
Here's how, Comedian 96, here's how you police the police.
Okay.
So, what you do is, when you're hiring these people,
okay,
of course, if they're being hired, then chances are they do fit the criteria on the surface.
Right.
Because they do psych evals and all of those things, right?
Right.
So, and go through this extensive training. So now they're hired. Part of the job description should be that, let's say, every 6 months, so that's twice a year, what you do is you have them take a polygraph. Now, when they're taking that polygraph, you ask specific questions. Okay. Let's say up to 10 questions. Now, within those 10 questions, one of those questions should be, have you racially profiled? Have you abused your power? And whatever other questions you need to be asking. Now, if they fail that polygraph, however many questions that qualifies as a fail, they fail that polygraph, then what you do is you put them on probation. Now, once they're on probation, that polygraph that usually would happen every 6 months, it happens every 3 months, every quarter. So that's 4 times a year that they're taking this polygraph. Now, keep in mind that they failed that polygraph, that's 1 strike.
Right.
Go on through their career, they're on probation or whatever the case would be every 3 months because they got this strike. Let's say they fail again. Those questions. That's 2 strikes.
Yep.
They fail again, 3 strikes are out. Now, here's where it gets good. Just like they do criminals, criminals are entered in a NINC database to show law enforcement that this person has been locked up before. So no matter where you go in the United States, they can log in to see that you have a record. You've been locked up before.
Right.
So if you're 3 strikes are out cop, you should be entered into a database that you could no longer be hired as a police officer or security guard or any form of authority that requires you to have a weapon.
Ah, okay.
So you write that in the law. That's how you police the police.
But even a security job, you think about it. Would you get one of them gung ho that did hand-to-hand combat and he just waiting? I ain't got no weapon, but I'm waiting for. I don't even want him to be security.
Well, we're not.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna run across somebody who can fight. Bottom line, you can fight.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're talking about policing the police who actually have
Right.
the law behind them. We're not talking about your average bro security guard.
No. I'm talking about what I'm saying is, say he's 3 strikes, he's gone, but now he wants a job as a security.
I just mentioned.
I know,
that
you said
he cannot get any type of job, whether it's law enforcement or as a security
You
guard.
said without a gun though. But
No,
they have
anything without any
security job.
security guard.
Okay,
Period.
cool.
Especially
Yeah.
without guns and stuff.
Okay. Then I misunderstood. Okay, I'm with you. 100%. Makes
So
sense.
let's say an officer has 2 strikes from taking this polygraph test, and he ends up in an officer involved shooting. How does these strikes affect how that's looked at, or should it be looked at?
Of course, it should be looked at because when you're involved in an officer involved shooting, they're gonna do their investigation.
Right.
What they come out of their investigations will determine whether or not that officer is at fault.
Okay, so now
And if that officer is at fault, then he has to be.
So what if the person that he shot, they family get a lawyer, right? And that lawyer then in turn finds out, oh, this officer, we pulling his psych record. He got 2 strikes.
Well, that's
He on his
definitely
way
gonna
out.
help their case.
So yeah, even though that officer might be dead in the right,
But here's the
it's
thing.
already making them
here's
look
the thing.
shady with those 2 strikes.
Okay, but here's the thing. That's on the police department because y'all know this dude had 2 strikes and y'all put him back on the streets when there's a lot of other positions within the police department that he could work. So that's on the police department. That's on the police department. Once you start getting these strikes, they may look at you and be like, you know what, this guy
Might belong behind
may
the desk.
belong
or something.
behind the desk.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
may belong over here in the evidence locker room
Yeah.
or somewhere. So that's on the department.
And they have to be held accountable in situations
Exactly.
like
So
that.
if that attorney that you're speaking of finds that, hey, this officer has that falls back on the department.
And any good attorney would use that
That's what I'm
to help
saying.
their client
Good
case.
attorney gonna like that. Man, you got 2 strikes, man. I'm finna get paid.
We're not. Well, getting paid right is right.
Because it's messed up for the just say that the officer was totally in the right, like 100% right.
Well,
but a good lawyer gonna keep that alive, even if he was right.
Here's the thing.
Because he could have been wrong on the other 2. Now he finna pay the price on the one he was right on.
No. I get it.
Yeah.
So let's say he's 100% right, and he's in the right. Whatever the investigation comes out to be, they'll say he's in the right, but yes, he has a checkered past.
Right.
If he's in the right, there's no charges. Now, this attorney that you're speaking of, this is a civil attorney.
Right.
No criminal actions will be taken care of, will be filed because he's in the right, although he has a checkered past. Now, this criminal attorney, he'll go after the department. We don't care. When I say we, I'm speaking of the family members of the victim or anything like that. They don't care that the dude is totally in the right.
Yeah.
We got action by y'all putting this guy on the street.
Right.
So that's civil. At the end of the day, it still falls on the department on making a decision. Hey, we have a cop here with 2 strikes. Do we want to risk putting him back on the streets?
Gotcha.
And possibly facing a lawsuit, or he could possibly face criminal charges if he does commit some other heinous act.
So I hate to be the dead horse, but like you said, with the hiring, if you think about it, seriously, I was joking, but I was really serious. You think about it. What is Chick-fil-A doing to where you never had an incident with a Chick-fil-A? What are they telling their employees? They're never.
I don't think it's nothing that they're telling their employees. What it is they have a standard. And if I had to guess,
why can't
if I had
the
to,
police
if
have
I
the
had,
same
if
standard?
I had to guess,
Yes. If you had to guess, go ahead.
they're hiring Christian-based employees. And so that's probably why they're not open on a Sunday. That is probably why they got some backlash dealing with, dealing with some stuff dealing with gay stuff that they got some backlash on, allegedly. Mm-hmm. But they're hiring Christian-based employees. Now, when you say the police, why don't the police have a standard? They actually do have a standard. It's just that the people are not adhering to the standard.
They're not sticking to it.
Just like the job that hired you, they have a standard. The job that hired me, they have a standard. However, there's some days when I don't do a lot of work, and I haven't met their standard.
Well, I'll be doing a lot of work sometimes. But
Stop ass kissing.
So let me ask you guys this. Do you think it would be beneficial if this was something that actually went into play as far as policing our police?
Of course. When you say if this, meaning what I suggested?
Well, no, I'm just saying, would it be beneficial, and who would it be beneficial to? Of course, I know public.
Well, I mean,
off the rip.
The way he doing, I do like it because you gotta put somebody in the right frame of mind on the streets to begin with. You don't want to put no gung ho. I got bullied when I was in high school. I can't wait to get this gun so I can smack around some folk type people. If you ain't doing your psych test on these people, getting evaluation, getting their background, seeing how were they bullied when they was younger. It's just a lot of people you shouldn't hire. But I totally agree with Freddie G on this. I think you should evaluate.
If I'm understanding your question correctly, K Money, who would be beneficial? I think the immediate impact will be felt in the black community.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, that probably would definitely lower the amount of
and again,
shootings that we had, especially on black.
Yeah. And again, I can't keep saying black community. I love y'all to death. I love my black folks, but I won't say that because I just watched the newscast. The lady was doing 66 and a 65, and she had to go to court. She was white, so that's stupid. You stop a lady for doing 66 and a 65. They messing with everybody at this point. This was on the news. It was big news, Brad, last week. So it's affecting everybody. Don't get me wrong, us more than others, way more than others. But if anybody's being harassed, no matter what color you are, harassment is harassment, and it's not right. So that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Now, Freddie G, on the example you used on the way that we could police to police, that sounds more like, that's them, the policing themselves. Basically all they had to do was change regulations on okay, this is part of the hiring is okay, you have to take a polygraph every 2 years. So they're policing themselves in that situation, right? I mean, when we say policing the police, are we asking for are we looking for someone on the outside to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing as police, or
Well, that's them policing themselves and holding their department accountable. I think as they should.
Yeah.
I think that just like anything, you need an audit.
Right.
So I think that the higher ups, such as the FBI, need to police the station or whomever to make sure they're doing their job by policing their officers. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So everything needs a higher up to make sure things are being done, like a QA, so to speak.
Right.
And so, so yeah, they need to be policing themselves. But that also, what that would also do, that would also win favor, I think, within the community. And
Yep.
I want to touch on something you mentioned about the blacks, and then you gave an example about someone.
Right.
It's a known fact that black people are killed at a higher rate
Way higher.
by police officers.
Yes,
I'm not talking about
Yeah.
getting a mere speeding ticket or whatever other ticket. It's a known fact
Right.
that blacks are being killed at a higher rate by
Right.
police officers. Even if they're not killed, it's a known fact that
being
blacks are
harassed.
being arrested
Much more.
and on trumped up charges.
Now-
And that's abuse of power.
Now on this,
let me say this. I say this. It's a known fact. If you go look at the videos, when we get pulled over, attitudes right off the rip. Known fact. They know how you doing, Mr. Day, Mr. Officer. It's I'm being arrested with no charge. I don't understand why. Hey, can I get your ID? I'll ask you ID. I didn't do anything wrong. What do you need my ID for?
I disagree.
I can pull
I
up
disagree.
about 5
Here,
videos
here,
right now.
for every 5 videos you pull up, I can pull up a video with a white person
Uh-huh.
that sits back and say the same exact thing. So I disagree on that because I believe.
No, I have seen that.
I'm
I have.
Hold on one
I
second.
have.
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with that. I disagree with that because we understand better than white folk understand
Right.
that we need to be a little bit
Be
more
cautious,
mindful.
mindful.
So
right.
so when you say that about black folk,
But you just,
I
you
100%
just said the
disagree.
keyword
No.
when you say we know to be more mindful, but you still have an
no.
attitude when you
Here-
pull up.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Whatever you got coming, bro, you shouldn't have that. I'm sorry.
Here's the
That's
thing.
how I feel.
Here's the thing,
you,
though.
You can't have an attitude with a cop
Here-
and being black.
here's
you
the
just can't.
here's the thing though.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
What I have an issue with, you're pointing out to black folk that we always do this and we act like this. When truth of the matter is, that gives us a dim light. When really, truthfully, white folk are actually the one that act like that. And if
And
you
get
do
away.
get a handful of black folk that act like that, they don't get away like the white folk get away. So that's my
Yeah.
issue I have with that.
that's the truth.
But the problem I'm having is the times that I've been pulled over many times, and 98% of the time, it's always the black cop that's giving me the worst problem. I mean, it goes back to Boys in the Hood when you watch that movie. What's the black cop that's sticking the gun in Cuba Goodness? It's been that way. So that's always been my case.
You're
That's
looking
just
at,
me.
You're
my
looking
case.
at you're looking at it as a black cop. I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Let me give you.
That's what made me eat
no,
grass.
no.
It's
True
one
story.
white cop
True
made
story.
me stand in ants bed.
True
One
story.
White cop.
True story.
right.
Do anybody remember the club LaShawn?
Yeah, back in the day.
Okay, true story.
Yeah.
Me and a partner of mine was at LaShawn's,
Mm-hmm.
having a good time. Someone broke into my partner's car. And that's back in the day when we used to have 6x9s across the back.
Oh yeah.
The speakers.
Yeah.
And so somebody broke in my partner's car, right? And they just bust the little bitty. He had a Delta 88.
Yeah.
Bust the little bitty back window out, the little small.
A little
one,
small,
right?
most expensive one.
Just enough to get in to
And
do their
unlock the
thing.
door. Yeah.
So we see what happened. We come out of LaShawn, see what happened. Man, destroyed. Oh, man, broke my car. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. They didn't steal the car. They just stole the speakers, the music, right? We get in the car, headed home. We get pulled over by the police. We're calm. We're nice. Yes, sir. No, sir. Someone broke in the car, sir. This is my car, sir. Here's my license, registration, and insurance. Mm-hmm. There was no black cop present.
Right.
There were about three carloads of cops. Mm. And there were no black cops present.
Okay.
I got bulldogged. I got thrown on the ground. I got handcuffs put on me.
Yep.
Even when I wasn't under arrest, my partner laid in the ant bed. He kept telling them that he was in the ant bed.
Yeah, me too.
Then they set us up on the curb, talked greasy to us for about a good 30 minutes, and then they let us go.
Right.
So, when you're saying that there's always black folk, and I'm using that loosely, I don't think you're saying always black folk.
Not always.
But what you've seen.
Most of the time.
Hold on, let me finish.
It was a white cop.
Let me finish. Let me
White
finish.
Go ahead.
When you say that black folks always giving cops problems, and that's why they did the way they did, I disagree with you because, hold on.
Go ahead.
Because I was respectful. We were respectful to these cops, and we got bulldogged.
Generally. This is a generalization. That is a one-off. Because I had the same thing happen to me. I was calm and everything.
Okay, so that's not a one-off. That's not a one-off.
You had a black officer.
I had that was a white officer.
That's not a one-off.
That was a Rosenberg
So that
case.
happened to you too. So
Yeah,
you
it
do
did.
understand where I'm
Right,
coming
I
from.
get it. I'm not saying. I'm just saying most of the worst incidents, like incidents that didn't even have to be, like even
What did Rodney King do to deserve what
nothing.
he got?
Nothing. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. That was they was just ready. It's a generalization. Because if that's the case, that means every time we go out, we would die every time. You look at it that way. So what I'm saying to you is generally, not every time. Most of the time, it's the black cops that give me the most problems. Most of the time. The white.
You're speaking of you
Yes,
and yourself.
yeah.
But what
I've
you
had
said, what you
I had
said
two
is
white
that you
cop
pull
incidents.
up-
One in San Diego,
No,
one in
you're
here.
speaking of you.
Yeah.
What you're saying is that why come black folk always the ones that's talking back to
Yes,
to the
if we
cops?
if we know what we're supposed to do, put
say
both
that's
our hands on
frustration.
you see what I'm saying? Put both our hands on the steering wheel. Give the ID when it asks for it. But if you come, what do you need my ID for? I have a video right here. I actually pulled this up for this specific. What do you need my ID for? I know my rights. Sir, can I please have your ID? That's all I want, sir. Just give me your ID. He was
What I'm saying,
else can you-
here's what I'm trying to
What
get
you
you to
want that man to
here's what
do?
I'm trying to get you to understand.
Yeah.
For every video you look to see a black person doing
Right.
that, I can pull up 2 videos of white people doing it. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
I
I'm
can
with you.
match you.
I'm with
so
you.
when you
You-
sit
I
back,
get it.
So when you sit back,
But then that's white
no,
privilege. That's what the show is about. That's white privilege.
No.
I'm with
When
you.
you
I'm
sit there
100%
and
with you.
point out black folk
Right.
and say that why do we always got to no, what I'm saying to you is no, you just can't say it's us.
Right.
White folk are doing it too.
They do it too. Right.
And they're
You're
probably
right, you're
and,
right.
and they're probably doing it at a more higher rate because most black folk understand that we can't get
do
away
that.
with what
We
they
can't
get away with.
Exactly.
I mean, black folk are probably doing it because they're frustrated,
Right.
being racially profiled.
I got
so, I mean, they have a right to do it. They shouldn't do it.
The point I'm trying to make is because when we had this Black Lives Matter movement and all that, it's cool to have a movement. I'm okay with the movement. I'm okay with it. But we gotta move in unison. You can't have all black people. Nobody's gonna take that serious.
Yeah, we're more offensive than
Yeah,
numbers.
So you gotta think, if you got Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington, all them out there marching, that's cool, black. But then you add Larry Davids and you add who else? Powerful people. I can't think of people right off the top of my head, but just other powerful people of other races, and we're all marching together. That's a movement.
Yeah.
Because black people, all we do is march. We didn't probably walk from here to Albuquerque 40 times.
And progress
And
has been made from those marches. I mean, it may not have been enough.
Yeah, if we march in you just like the March of Dimes, that's why it's still around. And when we do for cancer, that's because every race is trying to conquer this. If every race tried to conquer this racism, I think it will move a lot faster.
Of course.
All blacks ain't gonna do it every time. That's why I always say black this, black this, black this. That's cool. I love my black people. I'm black myself. But the world is about people, not just black people. People. There's no color. And until we understand that and we watch as a unison, we ain't gonna never get nowhere. As a people. Yeah. That's the point I'm making. That's it.
Okay, well, I understand the point, and I appreciate your opinion. Yeah. Freddie G, I want to get back to these strikes that you propose should occur in regards to police and the police. Let's say we have a police officer that he's involved in a officer-involved shooting, and he's found doing it the wrong way. Now, but they're trying to cover it up in a sense. Well, they're covering it up like they normally do in a sense. Do you think he should get strikes or immediate termination? How do you think those type of incidents should occur?
Well, if you're found negligent for a criminal act, the strikes doesn't even matter because you're going to be tried in a court of law. Mm-hmm. So the strikes doesn't even matter. So that's the short answer. I want to add by saying this. We have a lot of people that say we need to defund the police. Mm-hmm. I disagree with defunding the police. I just think you just need to reallocate the funds to a program such as what I just mentioned.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, and then I don't know, the strikes. He was just about to say, I was going to say, it probably would matter when it came to sentencing. So if he had no strikes, but if he had them saying 2 strikes.
Sentencing in regards to the punishment that the police.
Well, no. Right. You can't say that because he's being charged with whatever. If he's being found wrong and he has to go before the court of law, that's a criminal act.
Right.
These strikes are based upon racial profiling,
right,
and racial profiling and abuse of power, which is kind of not a criminal act.
Okay.
So you can't go. You got to stick to the facts, and when you're sticking to the facts and evidence for whatever you're being charged with, in discovery of whatever you're being charged with, that doesn't matter.
So let me ask you just real quick. I'm be done. So, say somebody did something that was totally legal. A cop, totally legal, illegal, just bam, and he's charged.
No, is it legal or illegal?
Illegal. I'm sorry, illegal. It's wrong. He was in the wrong completely. Never did anything, but he was in the wrong first time. Compared to someone that just crooked, been caught twice. Okay. Should they get the same sentence? That's the purpose of that.
So are you speaking of doing something totally illegal and it's a criminal act?
They both did the same thing.
Is it a criminal act?
Yes, both of them.
Okay, so if it's a criminal act, you need to be prosecuted to the highest point of the law. Right. If it's a criminal act.
Right.
I don't care if it's your first time. It's a criminal act. The law should apply to you.
No, I'm just saying because I
don't care if it's your first time.
I get
It's a criminal act.
I get what you're saying. I'm saying I just think the person that we already kind of figured he was crooked. He did it 2 times before. We warned him.
Listen,
I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you
this. He did it again.
Let's say you've never been incarcerated.
Right.
You've never been incarcerated. You're not a cop. You're not nothing. You just never been incarcerated.
Right.
Go take your ass to Walmart and steal.
Right.
They ain't gonna be like, it's his first time. No, you're gonna be prosecuted to the highest extent of the law.
Exactly. And then I'll get out. My first time, I'll probably get out for probation.
No, but okay.
Compared to a person that done it twice before.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Even if you get out with probation, you're still within the law.
Right.
They say you can get probation to this amount of time.
Okay.
You just happen to get probation for what you did.
Right.
There's another person that came through did the same crime, First time, they just got a judge that gave him
18 years.
this
I
law.
know somebody 18
so
years.
So if you're within this point of the law,
Yeah.
then at the end of the day, if you commit a crime, your ass need to get, and you're guilty, you need to
Bottom
get.
line, you break the law.
There it is.
Well, I just want to say for the record, I'm not with defunding the police either.
None of us are.
Like you said, Freddie G, maybe routing elsewhere, using them on different things like a program that you suggested probably would be a good idea. But it's obviously a problem we have out there with the police forces not protecting and serving as they should. But hopefully in the future, we can get a grip on it. But until then, fuck the police.
Yes, that ain't never changed. I'm not defending y'all, by the way.
And
I can't stand y'all.
I thank y'all for joining us, and tune in next week. This concludes another Hot Black Friday episode. And be sure you tune in next week for Music Mondays. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Scott Podcast. And for all you YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe.
We do it natural from the